yesterday, AI, it didn't just take over the world, it just stopped working. So like many of you, I roll out of bed, I grab my phone, something, ChatGPT is basically opening and nothing. Yeah, tried X, dead, tried Claude, couldn't connect. I feel like I tried a lot and broken. Then it hit me, we're building a new industrial revolution on an infrastructure that can still get knocked over in a matter of minutes. Cloudflare, if you didn't know, went down yesterday. Half the internet face planted with it. It was X, it was ChatGPT, Claude, as I mentioned, Uber, Spotify. Who else was in there? A lot. It was like someone unplugged modern life. One provider gets an unusual traffic spike and suddenly the entire AI era goes offline. It's interesting. We spent all this time debating whether AI is becoming too powerful. Yesterday might have proved the opposite. It's still pretty fragile. And it wasn't some black swan event. It wasn't a massive cyber attack. It was more of a reminder of something that most teams ignore until they're sitting in a war room trying to explain why everything died. Look, AI, it's not magic. It does still have that dependency chain, CDN, DNS, APIs, model endpoints. Stack them in a line and one weak link disappears and your intelligent system, I don't know, it turns to mush. It turns into a blank page. We're probably a little over-centralized. All of our modern AI is sitting more or less a handful of vendors. When one sneezes, everyone gets sick. We built the fast-growing technology wave on top of a pretty narrow foundation. And that fragility, it's not academic, it's actually operational. Here's what actually happens inside companies during outages like yesterday. Your support automations freeze, your routing fails, your chatbots stop responding, the internal assistants stop fetching answers, workflows stall, AI-powered, frankly, anything becomes nothing powered. This is the real near-term risk in AI. It's not always Skynet or runaway intelligence. It's brittleness maybe? One routing issue can take down your entire operation, and there's nothing your team can do in the moment. So look, if you're betting your company on AI, some hard questions maybe. What happens when your model provider goes down? What happens when your infra provider chokes on traffic? Do you have a redundancy? Or you maybe all in on one single point of failure? Can you switch models? This is one of the problems with building it yourself. Being able to switch models real time can be tough. Do you degrade gracefully? Or do you just throw a 500 hair and hope customers come back tomorrow? So look, I don't know if most teams have the real answer on this one. They've got AI adoption plans, but they don't always have resilience plans. I don't know, sometimes I feel like we're chasing the capability. Durability always comes next. And I'm not saying you shouldn't chase the fun stuff first, but that can work great until a random, morning pulls the plug on everything you've built. So look, zoom out. Yesterday, it wasn't unique. I mean, AWS has gone down. Atlassian has gone down, GitHub, Slack, I don't know, Discord. The pattern is there. It's fairly obvious. We've concentrated, as I said, that entire digital economy on a handful of checkpoints. So imagine building a skyscraper on a single power line. It might look cool, but if somebody or something flips the breaker, the building goes dark, right? And yesterday, the building went dark. Was thinking about the real takeaway after I rant around that, but yesterday it wasn't a warning about this unstoppable AI that we're all talking about. It was a warning that the foundation underneath all of this, it's still embarrassingly fragile. If we're going to build the future of work on AI, it has to survive more than a bad hour from one provider, because AI isn't just about what it can do, it's about whether it stays online long enough to do it. Yesterday wasn't some crazy storm or the end of the world or I don't know, some apocalypse. It was a little bit of a stress test though. And the results probably needs to make us all pay a little bit more attention. It's not just about how powerful is AI. It's also about, why did half the internet collapse because one company had a rough morning?